Welcome to another episode of the Seez Monroe Show. I am your host, and today we're here to talk about Thunderbolts.
Yelena, being a hero, there is no higher calling. Your sister understood something about that.
I should have come back for you.
No. That's just a fairy tale.
I was in high school when the Avengers came. Kind of strange that it's all over now. No one's coming to save the day.
I think we are. We can be the ones that are coming.
Bucky, you have the wrong people. We have all done bad things.
Look, I've been where you are. The past doesn't go away. So you can either live with it forever, or you can do something about it. I am a void. Look what you unleashed. You can't outrun the emptiness.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
We all have things that we regret.
But I have so many.
Yelena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
We can't stop him alone. No one can. But we can find a way. Together.
Now, before I get into this review, I just want you guys to know I don't know much about the Sentry. Let me rephrase that. I know nothing about the Sentry. I know nothing about the Sentry. Plain and simple. So going into this film, I had very low expectations. This film kind of met my expectations. It wasn't above, wasn't below. Plain and simple. This film didn't really gauge my attention off the trailers, off the plots, off the production. Nothing was there. I just remember watching the last trailer and you seen the void kind of powers going through the trailer, which, again, I don't know anything about the Sentry, so this didn't help the situation at all. So let's start by just saying we have familiar faces in this film. We have Yelena, which is from Black Widow, Red Guardian, which is also from Black Widow, the Winter Soldier, Bucky. You have Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp. You had Taskmaster, also from Black Widow. You had John Walker, who is like the evil Captain America from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So you have those people. This is your main start. And you also have the Sentry, all right, who later on becomes the Void. And actually someone had to tell me something about that because, again, I know nothing about the Sentry, so I didn't know where this storyline was going. The messed up part is I'm going to get into spoilers in a little bit, so I don't want to jump into it right now. But this film had, I'm not going to say it was a great potential. This film had okay potential. I believe the budget for this film was around $200 million. Hopefully I'm wrong. I just remember seeing that number somewhere. I have to probably look that up again. This film really could have set Marvel in another realm with like a Suicide Squad type film, which I felt like this is what we were aiming for. But then you put a super being in there like the Sentry. And like I said before, I'm not too familiar with the Sentry, but I know some, after doing a little research, I know some things about him, right? And allowing this to be your main quote unquote villain of this film, and you're doing a Suicide Squad type film, well, the Thunderbolts, with people who don't know anything about these guys, they really have no super strengths. Like Taskmaster is like the closest they could have got to someone who was great, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. All in all, I give this movie a solid 4 out of 10. I don't recommend you go out there and watch it. The after credit scenes for this film was a miss. it just seemed bad. All right, let me get into the spoilers right here. Again, guys, if you haven't checked this film out, you don't want to get into the spoilers, go ahead and click away now. I want you guys to know that, plain and simple, how do I say this without being disrespectful? This is the Marvel you're going to get from now on. This is what we have now. Until we get to Doomsday, until we get through Doomsday, I'm not even going to say get to, through Doomsday. The reason being is because I don't think the storyline is going to be great for Doomsday. I don't care what leaks have been out there. I think it's going to be a terrible overall film, but it's going to be a fanfare film, so people are going to enjoy it. Kind of like Deadpool and Wolverine, that type of thing. But that's neither here nor there. All right, let's get into the spoilers. Before we get into the spoilers, go ahead and like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you guys as always. Sinners, almost 4,000 views right now. I appreciate you guys. I couldn't thank you more. And a lot of talk is going on with Sinners, and I'm going to get into that talk in a little bit as well. That's a little bit later. All right, starting off this film, it's kind of like Yelena is going on this mission, right? And this mission is to sabotage what's going on at Oscorp. And at the beginning of the film, I thought they said Oscorp. I hope I'm saying this right, because now I'm mixing it up with what the film was and what I'm supposed to be saying right now. Oscorp, which is Norman Osborn's corporation. But it was not. It was Oscorp. Hopefully that changes. I'm sure this is because Sony still has the rights to Oscorp and all this other stuff, but there you go. We're trying to destroy the evidence for Valentina because she's being summoned to court, and they're trying to impeach her because she has this seat in the House. Okay, later on, the reason why this story is like the least of your worries is because it's literally a background story that has a reasoning for this team to get together and kind of like each other, but it wasn't needed. So that happens. She tries to pretty much create this environment where everyone kind of nicks each other, so there's no evidence against her. It doesn't happen. They end up finding Bob, which is later on determined to be the Sentry. And again, anybody that did a little research on this film knew who Bob was first and foremost. Again, I didn't. I was told by someone. That's neither here nor there. Run into Bob. Bob is now trying to help this team escape this kill zone, so to speak. And once they escape, they're being attacked by every armed force out there until Sentry flies up, and they pretty much Valentina noticed that her experiment was successful. Plain and simple, took the experiment, created this persona around them. And this kind of reminded me of The Boys. What's my man name? Homelander. It was kind of like a Homelander situation. She created this persona around him. It worked, and then he started to realize, oh, why do I have to listen to you type deal? And he went into a whole nother thing. It was just, again, bad writing. All in all, she created this environment, made sure that he wanted to pretty much beat up the Thunderbolts. And after that was done, he pretty much went rogue. She had a kill switch on him, not knowing that kill switch was only going to trigger something else, which was the Void. After the Void is triggered, he's leaving these people out, laying these people out left and right, ends up encompassing all of New York City, all the boroughs, whatever. And they pretty much talk him down. Well, the Thunderbolts Yelena started. But yeah, the Thunderbolts pretty much talk him down from this, which made him come back to his human self. Pretty much that's it. End credit scene, mid credit scene, there was pretty much Red Guardian trying to pump himself up as far as being on a Wheaties box, and then the end credit scene, you kind of see that they're being rejected as the quote unquote new Avengers, and later on, they see that the Fantastic Four ship is coming into the atmosphere. So, and it ends there. So this is a problem with me for a few reasons. One, you now know that this film that comes out in a few months, well, 2 months actually. When is I want to say the 23rd, July 23rd is when Fantastic Four comes out. So the end of July. So you got 2.5 months till this film comes out. And you kind of know now that they make it out of their situation, because they're coming into the 616 universe, which is bad in itself. Rewind a little bit, going into the Sentry, you have this super being, which is, he has these alter egos and he's pretty much off his rocker. And you introduce him in Thunderbolts of all films, which was just a terrible idea. Just didn't work. Just putting them in this film, it just felt forced. We could have gave them another villain, something that they could have been like, hell, make the film about them trying to get together for the most part, and they're just fighting each other throughout the film. Make something that made sense. This film just didn't make sense. Knowing that the Sentry could have ended all of them in a snap of a finger, this just wasn't the right move, like at all. So again, all in all, I give this movie a 4 out of 10. I want to get into a little bit about where I see the future Marvel going. First off, like I said before, Fantastic Four comes out in 2.5 months. I think the movie is going to be terrible. Hate me. Like there's nothing, no signs there showing that this movie is going to be entertaining, like at all. But we'll see when we get there. Then we're going to fast forward. We're going to get to Doomsday, which is going to be a fanfare film. All the stuff that you wanted to see, but this film makes no sense, but they're going to throw it at you. And then there's 2 parts, so they're going to do it twice. Marvel needs this reset, so I'm going to give them grace, but this is it. Like, I can't get excited for another Marvel property, another Marvel product, because they've just been missing this whole time. Like, the last 4.5 years, just been bad. It's just been terrible. All right, 5 years. When did Black Widow come out? I want to say that was around May of 2020, and I believe it went straight to VOD. PVOD, either way. But you have that. So for the most part, man, I just feel like Marvel has to make these changes. Again, the writing room, I don't understand who's sitting there thinking that this is a great idea, like at all. It's just not working for me. Daredevil season 1, Daredevil Born Again season 1, thought it was supposed to be 18 episodes, came out to be 8, and it wasn't worth it. All right. So again, I thought they were stretching these things out. I thought they were milking these episodes because they had 18 episodes to milk out a story, right? They had 8, and it didn't work out so well. And unless the second season is going to be in the next 3 to 6 months, I don't see where they felt that this was a great idea. So that's that, man. Let me know what you guys think. Are you seeing Thunderbolts this weekend? I honestly feel like you shouldn't. Save your money. This is going to be another flop for Marvel. I'm pretty sure they're used to it by now at this point. Another flop for Disney. Again, I'm pretty sure they're used to it at this point. You just seen what Snow White just did. It's a terrible time, man. Going back to Sinners, we need those scripts to be like up to par. Like Sinners was just perfect as far as the script goes, as far as the storyline goes. Again, there was hits and misses there, here and there, but this film, Thunderbolts, was just a miss all across the board. And don't get me wrong, the build-up was good. It just, as it was building up, you could see that they started struggling. It was an uphill battle for the build-up, and then the film just started collapsing on itself. That's the best way I can explain it. All right, so let me know what you think. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week for another episode of the Seez Monroe Show. Peace.